Hello there, welcome back. Today's video, I'm going to explain the 80-20 rule and how it applies to your business and actually to your life. It might creep you out a little, so stay tuned. The 80-20 rule is also known as the Pareto principle, and it's named after an Italian economist, Wilfred Pareto, not potato, Pareto. This is a good way to remember it. Now, my Italian friends would probably cringe at my accent. I think they might say something more like Wilfred Pareto, something like that. That's the extent of my Italian, Pareto. Well, like I said, he was an Italian economist, and during his studies, he found that roughly 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Well, this became an interesting thing that people started to notice, much like when you buy a car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. You didn't see it before, but now everywhere is this car, right? It's kind of the same type of principle. Sometimes it might be 90-10, sometimes it's 75-25, but in general, it's called the 80-20 rule. And for the most part, statistics actually lie very, very close to this. You might be surprised. So I've got some statistics to show you and illustrate how this applies in life. I didn't memorize them, so I'm going to read them. All right, so we know the Pareto principle states that really roughly 80% of the consequences come from 20% of the causes. All right, so here's some illustrations. In computer science, for example, Microsoft noted that by fixing the top 20% of the most reported bugs, 80% of the related errors and crashes in a given system would be eliminated. Kind of interesting. Also, in general, 80% of a certain piece of software could be written in 20% of the allocated time. Conversely, the hardest 20% of the code takes 80% of the time to write. Interesting. How about another one? In one study in healthcare in the United States, it was found that 20% of the patients used, you guessed it, 80% of the healthcare resources. Interesting. And it applies to sports as well. I had to look this one up. If you're a baseball fan and a statistics kind of a person, you might be giggling at my need to Wikipedia this one. But this is a stat in baseball, and it's called wins above replacement. What this means is that wins above replacement, and I'm going to read directly from Wikipedia here, it's an attempt to combine multiple statistics to determine a player's overall importance to a team. Okay, it was found that 15% of the players produced 85% of the total wins. Interesting, huh? Yeah. You might have heard that 90% of the work is done by 10% of the people. And I'm going to guess that if you looked in your closet, you wear 20% of your clothes about 80% of the time. Maybe it's time to do a little spring cleaning, huh? So how does this apply to your business? Well, if 80% of your income comes from 20% of your customers, that's a big deal. It's really important to know who is my top 20%. Who are my top 20%? Who are these people? Now, you might be able to run an easy stats report and find out who it is and see if what you think matches the numbers. Now, when we first had the hotel, I have to admit, I didn't even know what this thing was. I had no idea. All I knew is that we had some customers that kept coming back and coming back and coming back. Well, they came back. They were obviously in our top 20%. So you can run something, you can run a report and find out, income-wise and see who they are. Or you can also do an easy start and think, I'm going to list the top 5 people that come in here all the time. Yeah, that's a great place to start. I highly recommend it. Now, why else is this so important to know who your top 20% is in your business? Well, besides the fact that they bring you roughly 80% of your income, they might deserve a little extra something from you, right? If you are a company's top 20%, it's kind of nice to get a little extra good feels. Big corporations do this all the time with loyalty programs. Small businesses can do the same thing, and we can just duplicate that on a smaller scale. So, what kinds of things are you doing for your top 20% that are a little extra special? Do you have a list of their birthdays? Do you know their names? Is your staff learning their likes and dislikes and recommending things? Do you write them a special note every once in a while? Are you sending them an email? Do you give them special early access to things, or in the know kind of early information about products or services or specials? Maybe you have a special event that only they're invited to. There's so many things that you can do for that top 20%. So you're not overwhelmed. One of the things you could do is just simply talk to your staff about this 80-20 principle, the Pareto or potato principle, not the potato principle, the Pareto principle. And you guys can brainstorm some of the things that you can do for your top 20%. It can be a really, really fun, really engaging staff opportunity and a staff connection project or meeting. When your staff learns about this, and when you ask them for their input and their engagement, and then they see some of the things that they maybe thought of being applied, it's a win, a triple win. It's a triple. Let's use that baseball analogy. It's a triple. It's a win for the customer, of course, because who doesn't like special treatment and feeling like they're valued? Hello, everybody does, regardless of whether they're your top 20%. It's a win for your business because maybe it's increasing the daily ticket sales because of the extra things that your staff is doing for or with that top 20%. So what did I say? A win for the customer, a win for the business, and a win for your staff. Because when your staff feel valued, when they see their ideas being implemented, they're way more invested in your business. That means less turnover, higher productivity. That turnover cost is something that really gets small businesses and bites you in the butt. So if we can help increase our retention and increase our staff engagement, it's a win. It's a win-win-win for you for business. So what kind of things can you do for your top 20%? I hope you have a lot of fun figuring it out. Let me know in the comments. And definitely be sure to subscribe to the email newsletter, because we'll give you tips on how you can enhance customer experience all day long. That's what we do. Make it a great week, and thank you for watching.